guys, this is Big D Wiz, oldschoolstereo.com. Today we're going to talk about the infamous red Orion amps, the HCCAs. So stay tuned and let's see what's up with these amps. So the red Orions that you're seeing right now, these are the digital reference models, which were the second generation, first generation being the Moon and Stars version. So let me grab one of these and I'll show you a little bit closer. And obviously I'm going to grab the smallest one, the 225 here, and show you the connections. As you can see here, we've got, in addition to my neighbor mowing the grass, we've got the DIN input, we've got RCA inputs, we have peak LEDs for each channel, left and right, and a power LED. There's a gain control, an EQ button, and a mono button. Now the EQ button, I'll put in the description what that does. It's essentially a bass boost, a mid-bass cut, and a treble boost. As you can see, there's the amp. This one has had the wiring harness wired in, soldered in to the internals. They normally have a plug that goes along with them, but on the back, there's really nothing but just a plate. So many of you may be thinking, so what's so special about these little red amps? You know, why even do a video about them? Well, these are the original cheater amps from the 90s. They actually started in the late 80s. The first edition of the HCCAs came along in the late 80s, and those actually required bridging modules to be bridged. Those are the Moon and Stars versions that I mentioned earlier. But anyway, these amps were high current models designed to be used at low ohm loads. For example, the 225 HCCA is rated at 25 watts per channel into 4 ohms, but it's actually rated to handle half ohm loads and known to do quarter ohm loads without a problem, although it does get kind of hot. And I can't wait to test one of these and see what the actual output is, but it should be in excess of 400 watts, probably closer to 500, but we'll find out when I test it. The other two models, the 250 and the 2100, these are rated at 2 ohms mono or 1 ohm stereo, but there again, they've been known to do 1 ohm mono loads and half ohm stereo loads. So these were all kind of just the high current models for their time, and they were very popular to be used in competitions because they were extreme cheaters, whereas they were rated at either 25, 50, or 100 watts per channel. They could put out quadruple that without a sweat. Now, in addition to these amps being made in the USA back in the good old school days, as you can tell here, this is a copy of a car stereo review from July-August of 1991. So this is the directory edition, and here is the listing for the HCCA series from Orion, and check out the prices. The 225 retailed for $559. Now, I don't know how many amps out there these days are rated at 25 watts per channel and cost more than 500 bucks. People would just laugh. I mean, it's got to be like a 5,000 watt amp at that price. And the 250 HCCA was $849, and the 2100 was amazing, $1,749. These amps cost a ton of money, and amps like the 2100, that's why they're kind of rare, because they were so expensive. There were very few bought, although you saw a lot in competition vehicles. For the average Joe, this was way too much money to be spent on a car amp. If you can compare it to today's prices, the $1,800 back in 91 is probably like $3,000 now. So how many people can afford a $3,000 amp? Not too many. I know I can't. Maybe if y'all gave me some more donations I could, but yeah, right. And here's a gut shot of the 2100 HCCA just to give you an idea of how beefy these things were built. Now, the 2100 HCCA actually shared the heatsink with the 2250 SX and the 2250 NT. So it's about 2 feet long, and it's heavy as lead. I don't know, it's probably 30 pounds. Really heavy amp, but very beefy. As you can see, there's a lot going on inside there. Lots of componentry and very little wasted space. And this amp is a beast. It's a Class AB amplifier, as are the rest of the HCCAs. And this amp can pull 120 amps or more of current. So unfortunately, my 100 amp power supply from Audio Authority is not enough to bench test this. I do have another 100 amp power supply, but I've got to get some more circuits run, so I've got to upgrade my wiring here in my house to be able to handle this beast. So, but I can test the other two. So I can test the 225 and the 250, and we can see what they'll really put out. So that'll be interesting to see. Well, there you have it, folks. A brief overview of some old school Orion HCCA digital reference models. The 225 HCCA, the 250 HCCA, and the Mack Daddy Monster, the 2100 HCCA. So stay tuned. I'm going to test these amps coming up soon. Can't wait to see what they'll do. As always, thank you guys for watching my channel. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Big D Wiz out of here.